what's been your strategy right from the beginning, right? So what have you been focusing on in terms of keyword strategy? Just talk about that because looks like that's the one that's really been working for you. And talk about your content marketing strategy. You mentioned like most of your new leads are just coming from the content you write, right? So let's talk about how many people in your team are actually sort of writing how many articles on a monthly basis, and what's that strategy for you, and what's been your strategy right from the beginning, right? So what have you been focusing on in terms of keyword strategy? Just talk about that because looks like that's the one that's really been working for you.
Yeah, so that's working really well. And these days, you don't need to write the whole thing yourself, as you know. So you can just go ChatGPT and ask it for an article. Of course, you still need to proof it, maybe add some graphics, pictures, all that stuff. So there are a few strategies that work very well for us. We go through an extensive process. Step number one, figure out the best keyword, usually highest volume, lowest competition. You can check that on Google or other SEO tools, whichever one, doesn't matter. Then the second one is usually, okay, generate some, static content that's always green, something that's not very time sensitive.
Yeah.
So that's the second step. And usually like using, auto-generating AI tools, you can use ChatGPT, which is most probably the best one out there these days. Some of you may be already subscribed to like tools like Jasper or anything like this, which is fine too. Then the next step is usually figure out who are the experts in a space that we may want to include to give a quote inside the blog article. This strategy works perfect every single time. So definitely listen on.
So can you talk about this part a bit? I mean, are you talking about backlink building?
Yeah, so you can definitely use that for backlink building as well. But right now we're talking more about actually getting good piece of content that's long form and that you don't need to spend too much time building. At the same time, bringing lots of traffic to your website. So usually we would ask like 3 to 10 people to contribute with quotes on the topic that we are writing about. And once the blog is published, we'll ask them to share with their community. And usually we also look for people who have some decent follower
So
base.
are these guest posts in a way? So are you inviting guests who are experts in the field areas that you're looking at, and are you asking them to write the content and then go ahead and spread the word? Is that what you're doing?
Not the whole post, just a small paragraph or a quote, maybe with some graphics that we are going to then blend into that one single blog post. And then all of those 10 experts with their communities, their companies, plus ourselves sharing that one piece of content, it gives like 10x, exposure to this one piece of content and drives
What's
much
the
more.
incentive for those people to sort of contribute to your articles? Like,
Yeah, so they do get a backlink to themselves, of course. And then just like we talk about credibility, visibility, we're also going to share. And of course, other contributors will share. So it's kind of a win-win situation for everyone.
got it. Makes sense.
Thanks for watching the B2B SaaS Podcast channel. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel here.